go for 15. How you pay 22? I just transform a lot of fans on. I'm a right, you can get
Big Brazy, Shaylin, Big Brazy. Anyways, this is about the story that I ran away when I was 12, the first and only time that I ran away. And let me tell you, I was 12 doing grown folk things that I shouldn't have been doing. Anyways, let's get into the video. So first, before I tell the story, there's going to be a little bit of background information I'm going to tell you so you'll understand the story a little bit better. So at this time, I was 12, right? I was 12 dating a 16-year-old. Dating somebody I had no business dating. And keep in mind, this dude, a lot of bad things to me. He did so many bad things to me. Anything, I'm not going to go into detail with that. That's a different story for a different time. But because of that, my parents did not like him, banned me from seeing him, talking to him, everything. I could not have any contact with him whatsoever. And because of that, I was sneaking around to see him, sneaking out to see him, sneaking text messages, sneaking calls to him, and stuff. And because of that, it had a large strain on me and my parents' relationship. I was always getting in trouble. Didn't have my phone. But fast forward into the story. So I was at my friend's house for a party or whatever, and I was telling her, I was just venting to her how like upset me and my boyfriend were that we couldn't see each other anymore, that we had to sneak behind our parents' back to see each other, all this stuff. And she was like, girl, just run away. I done it before, just run away. I said, are you crazy? We live in Arizona, where it gets 120 degrees in the summer. And at this time it was August, so it was summer. It doesn't cool down here until November. So she was like, girl, just come to my house. I said, for real? She said, duh, you can come to my house. My family likes you. And I've kept people here before when they ran away, so. And I said, okay. And I didn't have my phone at the time, so I used one of my other friend's phones to text him. But my hair looks ratty in the back. And so I used my friend's phone to text him about it, and he was like, I don't know, blah, blah, like, while not wanting to do it. And, like, I was down to do this. So, like, I really wanted to do this so I could see him more, all this stuff. And eventually I convinced him to do it. And his main concern was getting caught up, because if he got caught up with me, because how little I was, like how much older he was from me, he would get charges for being with me, for helping me run away, like all this stuff, like being with it or whatever, I don't know. But anyways, we had planned to do it the night that I got my phone back, which was a couple weeks later. So I got my phone back, and we was all planning it, like we got our stuff together, and we left. And he left his house, I left mine, and we met up at a McDonald's, well, behind a McDonald's that was 15-20 minute walk away from my house. And keep in mind, my mom didn't go to sleep until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and my dad didn't wake up for work until 5 in the morning. So I had an hour, which was from 4 o'clock to 4:59 to get myself together, leave, and be at my destination, which was my friend's house. And I had got my stuff together the night before we ran away. So we had our phones, both of us, me and my boyfriend had our phones, and we had turned off our GPS, because if you turn off your phone, then they can't track it or anything. So that's what we did. And we hid them in we hid our phones in bushes. And no, I hid his phone and he hid mine. I don't know, it was weird. I don't know why we couldn't hide our own. He hid mine in cactus and I hid his under a bush. And then no, before that, I was texting my friend. I said, hey girl, like blah blah blah, like you need to come pick us up. And she wasn't responding or anything, because she knew I was going to do this, and I told her, be awake at this time so you can come pick us up, or we can get like a ride to your house, because I had a lot of money, because I had took some of my parents' money out of their wallets or whatever, so we could do this whole running away thing. And she wasn't responding. Nothing. wasn't responding, and we were not about to walk to her house because she lived a good 20-30 minute drive away from my house, which would be a good 3, 4, 5 hour walk. And we were not about to do that, and it was starting to become 5. So we were just like, oh, we gotta go because our parents are gonna start noticing that we're gone. And we were basically like out in the open or whatever. So we had walked to a park, and at that park, a lot of our friends lived around that area, and we didn't want our friends to, because like when they walk to school or like walk to the bus stop or whatever, they go through that park, and we were like, we are not gonna let any of our friends see us, and like have them snitch on us saying they saw us at this place, whatever. So then we had walked another 45 minutes to another park. And at this park, it wasn't even a park, it was a green belt. And anybody driving past could have saw us. Anybody. Like, there was no hiding. It was grass, and then there was a street. Anybody could see us. And we thought it would be smart to be there. I don't know. And then 2-3 hours later, maybe it's like 9-10 o'clock right now, 9-10-11, my boyfriend, he was all like, I don't feel good about this, I think that we should go, or like I should go. I said, why? We already went through with it. And he said, because we're gonna get caught up. And keep in mind, before this, okay, so during this time in my life, I was very depressed, hurting myself, like abusing pills, whatever. Like, it's a whole different story for another time. But actually, the night before, I was very upset, and I had written a suicide letter, and I had accidentally left it on my nightstand. I had told him about that, like, while we were walking or something. He was like, you remember that suicide letter? We can use that. I was like, how? And he said, he had said that he'll walk back to his grandma's house and be like, and come to my house to talk to my parents about it, because by now, like, we already know that they're looking for us. Just be like, yeah, Shaylin had left me a voice message at blah blah time in the morning saying that she's gonna kill herself, like leave the house or whatever. That I had went looking for her. We thought this was like a genius excuse for it or whatever. So that's what he did, but I didn't walk home didn't try walking home for another 6-7 hours, because within that 6-7 hours I had fell asleep in that green belt. I passed out because I haven't got sleep the night before or the current night. So I was asleep, I want to sleep, so that's what I did. And I woke up, I was hot. I was in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. So then I had gotten money, left all my stuff. I left all my stuff where that green belt area was, because there was a Jack in the Box down the street. So I walked to the Jack in the Box. I had bought some water. And then I was going to go back and walk to where I had put my phone. And I was going to call my boyfriend at the time or whatever, ask him what happened. So I had walked there because we had put our phones behind McDonald's. I don't remember if I said that or whatever, but we had put our phones behind McDonald's. And I walked there, I turned it on, I called him, whatever, and he was all telling him how I needed to go home, all telling me all this stuff. And then I was like, I don't know, I'll think about it. And by now, like I was on a call with my ex-boyfriend. All my friends were calling me, all my family was calling me, everybody was spamming my phone so I could come home or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. But eventually I thought to myself, I was like, well, I'll go walk back to where I put my stuff, get it, and walk home. And so while I was walking to go get my stuff, my mom drove past looking for me. And she saw me, she backed up, she went around the corner, she was like, get your... You already know how that went. And my sister was yelling at me too. They both were like, you need to get in this car right now. And then we had drove back to my house. There was 2 police cars at my house, I think. And one of them had left because I was there or whatever. And the police that was there, they had to interview me, ask me all these questions, whatever, because my boyfriend was also at the house, so they had to ask me some questions about that. But yeah, that's about the story that I ran away. Don't do all that for real. It's not worth it, because now they know that I was a runaway and all this stuff. And actually, after that, because of that letter I had wrote, because the police have found out about that, because my parents had told them, because they found it, they had to admit me into a mental ward, which that's a different story for another time. And I'll do my mental hospitals experience video, because I've been to 2, because of the runaway, and then for a different time. But yeah, follow my Instagram, which is It's Brazy Baby, and then yeah, subscribe, like, comment, yeah.